you all. My name's Garth Borthistle. I am doing this call along with Bryan Wirth and Tom Trexler, and we are very pleased to dig into the Business Accelerator Pack. That is our topic for today. As you know, there's lots going on in TriVita. So we're going to cover three parts of this. Bryan's going to come on in a minute and talk about the media and why MyoHealth is creating a new customer pathway. If you've been around TriVita for a while, you'll know that terminology, customer pathway. If not, you'll understand it by the end of this call. Then I'm going to dig into some of the contents of the pack, how it was put together, and the earnings from it. How does the commissions and the flow of that all work together? And then Tom's going to come and talk about how we use the pack to build your business and why pieces are there, and then we'll conclude the call and let you get on to share this very exciting news and tool with you. So with that, Bryan, it's great to do the call with you again, and I'm just going to say welcome and turn over the call to you. So welcome, Bryan.
Thank you very much, Garth, and as always, a pleasure to be doing these webinars with you and your team. Very, very exciting times right now with TriVita, and especially as we're coming into the end of this year, which is just right around the corner. We have got so many things to be excited about with TriVita, and the new year is going to be, in my opinion, the breakout year that we've been looking for quite some time. So I want to get right into the media side with TriVita. And because a central part of the Business Accelerator Pack that you mentioned, Garth, that we'll be going over in detail, one of the key components to that pack is the fact that you can start your business out with 14 contacts. So let's dive into a little bit about our co-op advertising and marketing system. You'll see that we have it, I like to refer to it as the unfair advantage. And the reason I like to call it that is because if you look out in the direct sales industry today, there is no other company out there that is doing what TriVita is doing. Companies have tried, but they've never been able to perfect it. So we truly have something unique in the marketplace, unique in its ability to give anybody the ability to grow and build a business. It's also unique with respect to being able to introduce this phenomenal business opportunity to other people. So let's talk about the media strategy for 2018. I will tell you that the strategy that TriVita has laid out for 2018 with regards to the co-op advertising and marketing system is the best that we've ever had in the history of TriVita. Because what we have is an entire year that we've scoped out, TriVita has scoped out in terms of what they're going to be doing in terms of introducing products, and you'll see multiple product pathways. Multiple product pathways will increase the lifetime value of your customers. What do I mean by that? Well, currently we have on television, obviously, the MyoHealth product. And the MyoHealth product is producing phenomenal results. Not only results, product results, the customers are getting great results, but the people that are responding, and literally hundreds and thousands of people now are responding to this TV program. So we know we've hit the right niche market with this product that helps people not only preserve muscle health, but increase their muscle mass, which contributes to a greater quality of life. But there are two other products that are going to be released in 2018. In May of 2018, you're going to see a brain health product. Now, I don't know, I'm just calling it brain health because that's what it deals with. Don't know what the product name is at this point, but what I can tell you is this product is under the direction of Dr. Robert Sheeler, a former Mayo Clinic physician that's on staff with TriVita, along with a team of professionals from UCLA University. This product addresses one of the top concerns and issues of the target market that we have in the media, which is the baby boomers, and that's brain health. I'm talking about, the main concern of people as they get past 50, things like dementia and Alzheimer's, declining mental cognition and just mental clarity. This is a phenomenal product that will be released on television, probably around May or June of this next year. And then Nopalea. Now, everybody knows about Nopalea. If you've been around TriVita for any length of time, we all know Nopalea, one of our top-selling products of all time. As a matter of fact, it is the top selling product in terms of volume, dollar volume, with our TV infomercials. Now, B12 was number one in terms of units sold, but as far as actual dollar volume, Nopalea was number one. That product will also be coming back on television. They're just getting ready to start clinical studies, again, under the direct leadership of Dr. Robert Sheeler. The clinical studies will allow us to go back on television with the new formula that's even better than the initial formula that we introduced back in 2011. So here's the point, folks. 3 products. Right now it's MyoHealth, followed by Brain Health, and then Nopalea. These are all coming on television in 2018. Well, here's what that really means. The customers that you buy right now today, the MyoHealth customers that you buy today, they are going to be exposed to these other 2 products. And these other 2 products are part of that demographic, the baby boomers that I'm talking about. This is the niche market that we have with TriVita'a on television. And I'll talk in a minute, how we reach that market, why we're going after that market. Let me make it clear. This is not, TriVita'a is not just a company that's for the baby boomers. Our products are great for people of all ages. But in terms of marketing and reaching a niche market on television, this market is the one we're going after. Let's go, if we could, there we go. The third point I want to make on the media strategy for 2018 to increase, and all of this again goes back to increasing the lifetime value of customers. Enhanced and extremely powerful back-end marketing with multiple touch points. What do I mean by that? Well, if you've been around TriVita'a for any length of time, you've seen the powerful back-end marketing that they include in the co-op system, in our customer acquisition system. This is at no additional cost to us, but you get, your customers, your members are getting product catalogs. But in addition to that, TriVita'a has really ramped up the email contacts that they're sending out, even outbound phone calls. Okay, and then of course the care center, when the customers are calling in, the upselling that's taking place in the care center. So all of the back end with TriVita'a in 2018 to support your customers and keep them ordering product is way beyond what we've ever done in the past. So that's a bit about the media strategy for 2018. And one final thing that I'll talk about, and I just found this out yesterday in talking with our CEO, Michael Ellison. They're working on some very focused campaigns to reward your members, your customers that you acquire from the TV program, in encouraging them to refer other members. And it's a type of campaign, and I can't give you all the details on this call, but I can just tell you it's the type of campaign that they've never done before, and they believe will absolutely encourage a tremendous amount of referring activity from your customers. How would you like to buy a contact and you pay your $95 for the one contact, but over time they end up referring 4, 5, 6, or 7 others that start buying the product that are your customers. Okay, this is all part of the strategy for 2018. Let's talk about the key to the co-op advertising and marketing system, and that is the high frequency of TV airings. This is very, very important. The more times that we can show these TV infomercials, the better it is for everybody. The old, as the rising tide raises all boats, right? Here's the things it does. The more we can get on television, it controls the customer acquisition cost. You heard on our last webinar, Donita Dykstra from corporate talk about how this is reactivating lapsed customers. Well, the more times we see it, the more we're going to have customers. For those of you who've been with us for a while, you're going to have customers that haven't ordered for a while. They're going to continue to see this infomercial, and it's going to bring them back. But here's another strong point I really want to make, and that is the customers you buy today, the more times that we can get on television and they see that, and they're thumbing through the channels, and all of a sudden they see the infomercial that prompted them to buy MyoHealth, it validates and it reinforces that buying decision that the new customers you have just made. It keeps them ordering. We know this is a fact. So how do we get higher frequency of TV airings? That's as we move forward into 2018, as we all begin to purchase the business Accelerator Packs, the Executive Builder Program, and double down that you heard about last week. It just gives us that ability to get more frequency on television. It's very, very key. All right, so I want to talk just for a moment, and then we're going to bring on a special guest here in just a couple minutes. I want to talk about the target market with TriVita, the baby boomers. Now, 90.7 million, and this is according to a recent article in USA Today, 90.7 million population in USA today. Okay, 90.7, that's roughly 1/3 of the population. But here's a key point. Americans 53 years and older accounted for almost 50% of consumer spending. That's a lot of dollars. That's a good market to reach. Here's another point that I thought was very, very interesting. They have the highest level of discretionary spending power. You know, this population that we're reaching on television, they're not having to make the decision when it comes down to the end of the month and they're looking at their budget. Do I buy groceries or can I buy, in our case, supplements or other products, right? They have the discretionary money to spend. And here's what we do know about this population. They are spending money on products that enhance their quality of life and health. And that's what we have with TriVita in these products. Now, again, I want to make this point. This is a company that has wellness products for the entire population. But in terms of the co-op, the sweet spot, the area that we go after is this targeted market of the baby boomers for all the reasons you're seeing on the screen. Now, we know this also for a fact because many of us have seen this. The customers we acquire, they have kids, they have grandkids. They start telling them about the product. So ultimately, we do reach down into those other markets. And from a business point of view, I will tell you this. When I started TriVita, I was in my early 40s. The product we had on television was the sublingual B12 product targeting this same market. It didn't stop me from wanting to participate in the business because I knew I could acquire these customers that fit this demographic. It is still one of the best demographics. So here's the question. How do we reach this audience? And this is, folks, this is so, so very important. The unique partnership that Michael and Susan Ellison have with James and Betty Robison, a business and personal friendship that spans over 40 years. James Robison is a known, highly respected TV personality and pastor. He's been on television since 1968. When he launched the first product on television for TriVita, over 2 million customers. This is a guy, this is a couple, I should say, that has they have millions of viewers that know and trust them. And they reach that target market of the baby boomers. And that's why you're seeing the minute we went on television with James and Betty, the numbers started to just blow up. I mean, they just started to go. This is the ideal situation because we have the perfect people to represent TriVita and these products, the 3 products that I mentioned before, MyoHealth, Brain Health, and Nopalea, as we roll them out in 2018. It's a fantastic relationship and very, very excited about what that's going to do for us. So let's move forward. I want to bring on a special guest now, Presidential Director Fred Gondzar. And Fred is somebody that's been extremely successful in TriVita. Fred and Paula live in South Dakota. They're some of the top producers of all time with TriVita. You know, Fred, I called you, I think it was back in the first part of December, and I explained to you a little bit about a program called the Executive Builder Program. And it didn't take you very long to say, I want to participate in that. So if you would just share with everybody that's on the call tonight what you saw, not only in the Executive Builder Program, but also why you think that this co-op program might be a good place for people to focus their energy on this next year in 2018. Fred, it's all yours.
Thanks. Well, when you first told me about it, I couldn't believe it because it sounded so good, and I had to really mull it over for a little while because nothing like that has ever been produced by TriVita. And my next thought was, okay, now this is really a very, very good deal. I mean, for those people that don't know, if you do the Executive Builders Program, you do get 40% of everything that those customers purchase for a whole year. And with the power of this new infomercial that's promoted by James and Betty Robinson on MyoHealth. I mean, MyoHealth really works, and if I have time, I might even tell you my testimony of how it helped me. But MyoHealth is so effective that when people take it correctly, they will get results. And when they do get added strength and muscle mass, they will not want to stop taking it, because if you stop taking it, your muscle mass will revert back to where it used to be before you took MyoHealth, and nobody is going to want that. So logically, they will want to have a muscle health and muscle strength that they might have had maybe 10, 15 years ago. So it's just a no-brainer not to continue taking it. I've been taking it continually, and it's done wonders for me. So I had to think about, how am I going to pay for it? I'm going to do this. I just wasn't sure exactly how to do it, and everybody's got different ways to do it. I don't recommend anybody go out and get in debt or mortgage a house or do any weird things. But I had some gold coins sitting around that anybody that's into precious metals knows that gold really hasn't been doing anything for several years. I'm thinking, well, it's not doing much. I think I'll just liquidate them, and I'll buy the MAP customers. And so that's the route I personally took. And my customers, goodness sakes, I think of the 100 customers that I got, like 95 of them are taking the challenge. I got a few that are doing some other products, but the MyoHealth infomercial is just bringing in tons of people that are interested in feeling younger and stronger, and that's what MyoHealth does.
Well, that's fantastic. Fred, let me ask you this, just as a kind of a parting comment. You know, you participated in the Executive Builder Program, which is acquiring 100 contacts up front. I'm going to turn the call back over to Garth, and he and Tom are going to be talking about the Business Accelerator Pack. But from your perspective, let's say somebody doesn't have the financial resources necessarily to put into the Executive Builder Program. Based on your personal experience that you've seen with the customers you've acquired for the program, what would you tell those people that are looking perhaps at maybe launching their business with the Business Accelerator Pack with 14 contacts or customers?
Well, wow, 14 customers that are going to be getting results and loving it and continue purchasing. That's, you can't beat it. When I first came into TriVita, let me think, 10 and a half years ago, I bought a pack that I think had 25 MAP customers in it. I think there were B12 at the time. These customers are just so much better than those customers. So anybody that's coming in with getting 12 of these customers is like getting multiples of the previous pack customers. Customers that get results stay ordering, and that's what we have here.
Fantastic. Well, Fred, as always, thank you so much for everything you do, your leadership in TriVita, and for being on the call tonight. I just really appreciate having you with us.
Thanks, Brian.
All right. Well, Garth, I'm going to hand the call back over to you so we can dive right into how to grow your business with the Business Accelerator Pack.
Yeah, that was fabulous. Thank you, Brian and Fred. And it's just so, that's what we're all sensing and believing, not believing, but seeing with our eyes, that these customers are different and stronger. And that story, Fred, was really backed up the whole explanation that Brian gave. So, we know that this is a key part to doing it, but, we wanted to create, and TriVita wanted to create a program that probably touched the masses more so than the Executive Builder. Everyone's in a different position, but we said there has to be a way to create something, a way to start a business that's very feasible, and this is where the Business Accelerator Pack came up with. So just to quickly review the content of it. The Business Accelerator Pack is a one-time purchase. It's a way to kick off or accelerate your business, and it's a great way to get people started on it. And for the pack, you get 8 containers of MyoHealth lemonade powder. You get the shaker mug. You get the brochure to explain how to use it, because that's very important. You get the special edition catalog. You get 10 sales brochures on MyoHealth. You get all the tools. You get 10 copies of the Building Blocks Books for Life, which is a fantastic tool to introduce people to. I think Tom will talk about that a bit more. You get Michael's book, which is, to me, very foundational to understand both wealth and wellness. So that's a great addition there. And there you go, the 14 co-op media contacts that Fred talked about, the same contacts that are feeding the Executive Builder program go into this. And we're very excited. This is a good starting point. I mean, what other business, I think Bryan said it at the top, no other business can do this. It can actually provide customers, media contacts, real customers buying the product and using the product to ITBO. It is simply a fabulous offer. We also get 12 months of back office access, which is like a $120 value in itself. 90 days of compensation qualifications. So you don't have to worry about when a new person starts. 90 days of qualifications are covered because we want people just to get into doing the right activities and figuring out all those little details later. Plus, I don't know if everyone's aware of this, but with the compensation program, you don't earn any commissions off your own personal sales. However, our personal purchases act exactly like a member's personal purchases. We get Vita points that we can apply to free products in the future. So with this pack, you get 6,300 Vita points, which is about $6,300 in product. So you can use those on your next purchase to try other products or products that you have. It's a fabulous little perk that I don't think we talk about very often. All of that comes with free shipping, and that is a great Business Accelerator Pack for $1,599, $1,900 and some change in Canada. And like I said at the beginning, it's limited to 1 pack per ITBO. So I just wanted to make sure everyone understood how that is paid out. So how does that, as a business tool, impact? So I've got some sort of just some high-level numbers, not to go into too much detail, but there's 2 parts to earning it. There's the compensation placed on the product, the 8 tubs of MyoHealth that we receive, and it's either paid if it's a brand new ITBO buying it. You will earn the 40% first sale bonus on your enrolled ITBO, and then there's another 10% enrolled bonus for the enroller, just like our current compensation pays out. Or if it's a current ITBO buying it, the product is treated as just into the regular unit level. So just to not overwhelm you with too many figures here, but just to see how that breaks down, because I know there's people out there that like the math and want to understand the value that's in this pack is pretty dynamic. So 8 tubs of MyoHealth is 320 points. For a new ITBO, that's $128. So when we enroll a new ITBO who buys the Business Accelerator Pack, that's $128 right there, and the enroller gets $32. If it's a current ITBO, you can see on the right-hand side there, it's paid out in a compensation plan, 20% on the first tier, or $64, and then tiers 2 through 6 follow that. It's a grand combination of 6. I squished it all into one figure, and then the leadership. So $160 is paid out immediately in commissions off of that pack, and just off the product side alone, okay? So that's just product. Part 2 of that is the media contacts that Bryan talked about and that Fred talked about, and the regular first sale bonus applies to it, which is all those media contacts, those 14 media contacts, you will earn 40% first sale bonus on the first 2 purchases. So that's not the first month, it's not the second month, it's the first 2 purchases, which is a great benefit and bonus. And then there's the 10% enroller bonus that's paid out as well for the first 2 purchases. So you can start seeing that this model is based upon enrolling new ITBOs. They start with the Accelerator Pack, and then we train them how to grow the business from there. And just to touch on some of those aspects of it, I created this little list here as I was thinking about this. What are we doing with our new ITBOs and our current ITBOs that do this? Well, we're teaching the value of customer acquisition, as Bryan talked about, and why that's fundamental to any business, and why it's the heart and soul of TriVita's ITBO business. You start earning for building a team. There's new enrollment incentives, as we've talked about with the first sale bonuses. We're teaching about the lifetime value of members and that whole new concept that TriVita has. That it's not just a one-time sale or even a one product sale to people. It is multiple pathways that lead into brain health and Nopalea and other products and referring. So that's what we call the lifetime value of members. We also teach that people should reapply as you start earning commissions off of your media contacts. You should reapply that into and just keep building up your members and your customers through that aspect. And all of this, bottom line is, this is a very reasonable cost for starting a real business. And that's why we believe this is a program for the masses. And lastly, just want to let you know that the Business Accelerator Pack has a whole host of tools available. So you can go to your back office right now. All the details about ordering and the pack are there. There's a new web page that'll help with enrollment. There's a little sort of sample of it on the right-hand side there. There'll be PDF tools and, of course, regular training from all the leaders on how to maximize out this pack. So it really is a program for the masses. It rewards the right activities, and it adds value and growth. And I think we can be very proud of what we have, not only in MyoHealth, in TriVita, but also the business opportunity. So I hope that was helpful in that I really believe that we are on the verge of making this our best tool for growth in 2018, because it's a package that I believe the masses can do. So at this point, Tom, I'm going to have you come on and welcome you and turn you over to talk about some of the how do we use those components? How do we make, how do we launch our businesses properly and grow with this pack? So welcome, Tom, and it's all yours.
Glad to be on the call, and thank you to everyone ahead of me who's done such a great job of explaining what we have, the opportunity that we have. And now I want to talk about a little bit about how to use that to build your successful business. And the keys for building a successful business, number one, you need to be your best customer. You need to take the 30-day MyoHealth Strength Challenge yourself. So when you introduce this to someone, that's what they need to do. Now with the pack, as you'll see there at the top, you'll get 8 containers of the MyoHealth Lemonade Powder. This will be enough for you to use 2 of them for your 30-day challenge. And maybe your spouse can use 2, and this will leave you 4 more tubs that can be used as part of your personal customer acquisition strategy. Now in the pack, you'll get 10 copies of Dr. Wolf's book along with the 10 sales brochures. And this is without a doubt the best sharing tool I have ever used and ever seen. Your goal is to get those 10 books and brochures out as quickly as you can. And this is, like I said, it's by far the easiest and most effective strategy I've seen. I've now been able to bring in right at about 50 new customers from sharing the book. It's the impact that book has. If a person will read it, they're usually very interested in trying the product and getting started. I carry those books wherever I go. I've got them in my laptop bag. I've got them in my car. I've got them in my gym bag. And I look for opportunities to share. And it's people really receive it well as when I do share it with them. Now, when someone shows interest in trying the product, I help them to place their order to get their buy one, get one free. And then I loan them one of my tubs. I say, here, so that you can get started today, here's one for you to try. And when your package comes in, then you can just give it back to me. And this creates a great follow-up session where I can meet with that person a week or so later. They already probably have some stories to tell. A lot of people will see some impacts right away, but it gives you a great opportunity to follow up, make sure they're taking it properly, give them encouragement. Maybe at this time there's opportunities for referrals. And maybe there's an opportunity for the right person to share the business with them and duplicate what we've just done with the Accelerator Business Accelerator Pack. You know, so it's a simple formula. Step one is acquire contacts, media contacts through the co-op program, and you're going to get 14 to start. Step two is to share the books and bring in personal customers. And then step three is share the business in the pack with people who will duplicate steps 1 through 3. And that builds a solid residual business with customers coming in both through the media and through personal contacts, and people who are coming into the business as well. And you create a simple, duplicatable model that's solid with real customers enjoying, you know, residual income. I know Fred has shared earlier. I came in 2001, and I have media customers that I acquired in 2001 who are still ordering, and they came in on the B12, but I see quite a few now are seeing a television program, and they are ordering the MyoHealth. So you've got a long-term residual business. And to me, there's not a better business model anywhere. And to be able to start a business for $1,599, it really is amazing to me what that can do and how that can duplicate to create just a really solid, exciting business.
Hey, Tom, as you talk there, I think you bring up a very good point. It's the whole collection working together. I think it's important that we don't just say, oh, it's just about buying the media contacts and letting that see it, hope those 14 work out. But it's all of it working together, right? It's sharing the product, it's buying the media, it's reapplying the media, it's sharing the business opportunity. That's kind of the message, right? Is that a summary, do you think, of what you're saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What's one thing that I think it's good? I think people like to hear. How do you actually share the business? Is it usually from a product usage, or do you sort of talk about it independently, or you kind of do both?
Both. I really love talking about the media and how we're able to bring in customers through the media. And then, you know, when I'm talking to someone about the business, I'll have a catalog with me and I demonstrate and show them. I even have some of the large postcards that TriVita'a sends out with specials and things like that. And I said, where can you get a business that, and I'll share with them, okay, let's say I have a business with 100 customers. TriVita'a is going to send out 100 catalogs. They're going to send out postcards like this. They're going to send out emails. They're going to do all the marketing at no cost to me to those 100 customers in my organization, or that could be 1,000 customers. And I tell them, I don't know how much that catalog costs to print and produce and mail. It's 64 pages, but it's gorgeous. I don't know how much that costs, but if it costs a couple of dollars, then if I have 1,000 customers in my business, they're spending $2,000 a month or $24,000 a year in marketing to my customers at no cost to me. And then they deliver the product, they take the orders, they do everything. I don't have to put a key into the door, and I've got to worry about all the employee headaches that go on with a traditional business. There's not a better business anywhere than what we have with this.
That's very good, and I think that's the thing, right? I mean, if we're talking to the masses, there's a lot of people that don't have that business understanding of what it takes to run a business, and to explain the business aspect of this, it becomes pretty clear and evident for how strong this is.
Yep, and it's very simple, and you have to keep it simple, and you use those 3 steps that I mentioned: acquire media contacts, acquire personal customers, and acquire people who will do steps 1 through 3.
That's awesome. Hey, Bryan, if you're still there, I'm going to give you the last word here about how you actually share the simple way about sharing the pack or opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, you know, and I believe that it's you know, there's an age-old question out there: do you lead with the product, or do you lead with the business opportunity? And my answer to that is you lead. You know, sometimes it's the product, and sometimes it's the business opportunity. But specifically, when I'm sharing the business opportunity, You know, I like to talk about how powerful our co-op program is in terms that people can relate to. So if I were talking to you, Garth, I might say something along the lines of, Garth, you know, no doubt if you watch any television at all, over the years, I'm sure you've seen TV programs on and infomercials that are advertising a variety of products. You know, no doubt you've probably seen one of the longest standing TV infomercials out there is a piece of the fitness equipment called the Total Gym that was advertised by Christy Brinkley and Chuck Norris. Have you seen that program before? Of course they say yes. Well, you know what? I have a company that I discovered that is running programs on television, marketing a phenomenal line of health and wellness products. And now I can partner with them and actually build a business by acquiring these customers. As they call in on these TV programs, I'm able to partner with this company and share in the profits and build a business and a customer base through the power of TV. Does that sound of interest to you? And virtually every time I say that, they get this glazed look in their eyes and say, wow, yeah, that sounds pretty interesting. So, you know, again, it goes back to the unfair advantage that I talked about at the top of the program. We have something that nobody has to offer, Garth. It's just amazing.
Yeah, that's very well said. Well, I think we've heard from some of the best here, and Bryan and Tom and Fred, and there's so much variety and ways to touch. It's just about touching people, right? I mean, the books will work sometimes, but not in every scenario. But obviously, Tom has been very successful with them. I like the books. I don't think Bryan uses the books much, but there's enough tools in this Accelerator Pack to connect with people, share the product, share the business opportunity, just as these gentlemen have said. So I'm excited. I think 2018, Bryan and Tom, is going to be our best year ever, and we are just seeing some lights go on, and I'm excited. And we wanted to get this in before Christmas so that we can prepare to start, you know, right after the holiday, or even during the holidays. I know people are building right now. Fred bought his pack already. I'm buying my pack. So nothing stops us from doing it now, but 2018 is going to be a great year. So thank you, Bryan, and thank you, Tom, and thank you, Fred. And I guess we'll wish everyone a very happy holiday season.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day and happy business building.